Getting your period when you're trying to conceive can be incredibly painful, both emotionally as well as physically. I really believe it's so important to slow down when you have your period, to give yourself time to rest and to really honor what the body is actually doing at this time, which is completely resetting, which is releasing all of the old cycle, ready to start fresh with the new cycle. And I think if we push ourselves through this time and try to do everything like we normally do, that's when we end up in burnout in other stages of our cycle. I know my life has completely changed since I've started living and honoring the energy cycles, the hormonal cycles that my body goes through each month. And I know from my own experience and from the women I work with that honoring these cycles and really taking the time to rest helps fertility so much. So whilst this class is for menstruation, and for those of you who are experiencing painful periods, this is still a fertility yoga class. This time now is just as important as ovulation, as the 2-week wait. And I think it's a really beautiful chance to slow down and honor our bodies and to really give them the care and the nourishment they need in preparation for the next cycle, but also in just deep care and respect for your own body. During this class, we will be using a heat pack of some kind, so whether you've got a wheat pack or a hot water bottle or something like that, it's going to feel really nice on the physical body, but also on the emotional body as well, really looking after and caring for yourself. It is going to be nice and gentle today. You will see I will use a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, cushions or pillows off your bed will be perfect. And if this is your first fertility yoga class with me, I do have a free guide. I'll leave that linked below so that you can go and download that one after the class. Let's get into it. All right, we're going to come and lie back on the bolster or the pillows in what is a reclined butterfly. So I want you to bring the soles of the feet together and just gently press them in. If this is too much opening for the inner thigh and groin, you can bring some pillows underneath the knees as well. You'll notice I've got my hot water bottle handy, so we're just going to use the arms to really support you down. You don't want to put any extra pressure or strain on the abs at the moment. They don't need to do any crunches. They need to just rest. So let's just slowly lower ourselves down. And I want you to bring that hot water bottle onto that low belly or wherever it happens to be aching for you at the moment. Let the shoulders relax, close down the eyes. We take a few full deep breaths and just allow ourselves to sink and settle. This is also the perfect time to turn inwards. We're usually naturally more intuitive at this time. And we can use our yoga practice to really set the intention to turn inward, to start listening to that internal voice. So allow yourself just to follow the natural rhythm of your own breath. And listen to any wisdom that your heart has to tell you. The last couple of breaths, I want you to bring the hands up above the head and just let the elbows fall out, just getting a little bit of extra opening through that chest. Opening up the heart, even at this time where we're often feeling sad, heartbroken, maybe even a touch angry. It can help to open up this space, let any emotions that are being held in the heart, in the chest, in the hips, just letting them go. And as much as we may not want to, this practice is calling us to accept, to allow the emotions to be, but to also accept our current situation, even when it's not what we want it to be. This is big work, it's hard work. I'm certainly not saying this is easy, but you free yourself from a lot of suffering when you can come to a place of acceptance of what is. And that's acceptance without denial of the feelings that you have. I want you to bring the hands now onto the belly, so just holding that heat pack on the belly, and then just bring the soles of the feet up. Maybe move the hips down a little bit so that the sit bones are actually touching the ground if they were up a little bit. And then just gently let the knees fall to the left side. So keeping that heat pack on. If it falls off, it's okay, but you might want to let one hand rest on it. Let the other hand rest down to the side and look away from the direction of the knee. So a super gentle twist. We're just going to stay here for 5 full deep breaths. And as you inhale, slowly slowly bringing the knees back through center, all the way to the other side, supporting that heat pack with the other hand, looking away from the knees. 5 full deep breaths here. Slowly draw those knees back into center. And to gently tuck the chin in towards the chest as you lift the head. Use the hands to support you, so again, not putting any strain through that belly. And just slowly come back up to sit. Keep the heat pack with you. If you like to, you can come sit up on the bolster. Sometimes we find that more comfortable when the hips are a little higher than the knees. But if you're comfortable sitting flat on the ground, just finding an easy seat, get comfortable with that heat pack. It can also feel nice to have a blanket around the shoulders. I want you to really feel comfortable and cozy during this practice today. So just let the hands rest on the knees, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Find some length through the spine, so feel the sit bones pressing down, the crown of the head lifting tall. As you inhale, I want you to lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and as you exhale, I want you to drop them away. Doing that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Let's bring the left hand to heart now, the right hand to the belly, or to hold that heat pack on the belly. Keep that length through the spine as you inhale into the low belly. Keep breathing up into the heart. Exhale from the heart. Exhale from the low belly. Keep this pattern going. Inhale, low belly. Inhale, heart. Exhale, heart. Exhale, belly. Almost like there's a direct line from your womb, from this creative center to the heart space, and from the heart space to your creative center. Perhaps you can visualize this connection between these two spaces. And then gently release the hands, remove the heat pack now. We're going to do a few pelvic circles, so just bring the hands onto the knees and you decide how big these circles become. So if you are really sore, maybe you just take a really gentle circle. If you don't have any pain at the moment, if your pain is mostly emotional, then your circles can be a little bit bigger. So for some women, the movement feels really good, helps to really just detox and let that flow happen. For other women, it increases the pain and they don't really like any movement in this area at this time. So please tune into what feels good for you. So we're just rocking the body forward, opening up through the chest. And then exhale, rocking back. So really sitting back on the sit bones. You can almost hang off the knees with the hands. Inhale. And exhale. Closing down the eyes, really taking that awareness inside. Reversing your circle. And then just coming back to center, bringing both hands on the belly, find length in the spine and just sit within the stillness here. Release the hands. We're going to come into our child's pose now. So you can keep that heat pack handy. It can be nice on the low back at this time as well. We're going to use our bolster again. So whenever we're menstruating, we want to take the knees nice and wide for our child's pose so that there's no compression through the belly. So bring the bolster in. This is going to be a support for underneath the chest. And then if you like, if it feels good, you can bring that heat pack onto the low back. And then just soften the head down. I want you to relax fully through the shoulders, through the upper back. Let that belly hang, no tension there.
Just allowing yourself to let go, to surrender into this moment, to surrender to any emotions that you might be feeling. And perhaps you can find a glimmer of acceptance here too. Connecting with that trust that your baby is coming. Trusting that having your period yet again is not a sign that you're broken, and in fact is actually a sign that your body is more than healthy, and that by tuning in, by letting yourself rest at this time, you can help your body, you can support it to be as healthy as it possibly can be, and as a result, as fertile as you possibly can be. Let yourself soften. Let everything go. Next inhale, slowly coming all the way up. Oops, I forgot about that heat back on my low back, just getting rid of that one. Bringing the knees in and just coming into a kneel here. Bringing the hands onto the thighs, rolling the shoulders back and down, just creating a little bit of an opening. So we've been hunched in this position and just counterposing in the opposite way with a few shoulder rolls. Almost creating a bit of a cat-cow here in a kneeling position. So as you inhale, open the chest, maybe shift the gaze to the ceiling, and as you exhale, round through the low back, the upper back, tuck the chin, inhale and open, exhale and close, inhale and exhale. I want you to bring the legs out from underneath you now. We come into a forward fold, but we're going to use that bolster for support. So if you don't have a bolster, you may need to create a stack of pillows. The beautiful thing about a bolster is we can bring the feet and just grip them gently at the ankles and then lean forward so that our head is supported and the upper body can just completely let go. So I have a really gentle stretch through the hamstrings, which is what we want. The belly can be nice and soft, the arms, the shoulders, the head relaxed. So again, just tuning into your own breath, noticing any sensations in your body. So even sensations of pain, I would like you to notice them. Notice that you can breathe through them. Notice that that mental gripping of the pain, that focus on it as a negative thing, actually makes the pain worse. If you can surrender to them, if you can accept them, maybe you can bring that heat back in, that offering of comfort. And those deep breaths and letting go help to make the pain lessen. Much like in the rest of our life, when we grip and hold onto an idea, onto something we want, it can feel painful and hard, but when we let go, we can allow it to become easeful. Can let go of our own timeline and just accept and embrace what is. Slowly release the bolster. Find some length in that spine once more. So if it feels better too, you can cross the legs, find a little bit more length, more opening through that chest. I just want you to look over the right shoulder, so you can use that left hand into the outside of the right knee. A bit of an anchor there. Really focus on the length though. So crown of the head lifting tall, pressing down through the sit bones. And then in the opposite direction. So while this is a twist, which we don't normally do during menstruation, it's an open twist, there's no belly compression. You can just feel really nice for the spine here after that forward fold. And just bring the hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards the buttocks, opening up through the chest, letting the head gently fall behind you. And then slowly coming back. When you're ready to, joining me again, bringing the hands to heart. So thumbs into the sternum, roll the shoulders back and down. I just want you to bow the head in. This can be such a hard part of the cycle. When you're trying to conceive, this is the devastation, the heartbreak, and then the physical pain as well, which can just feel cruel on top of everything else. And I just want you to take this moment here to recognize your feelings and acknowledge them as valid. I hear from so many of you who excuse away your feelings, who say, I've only been trying for this long, or I haven't experienced losses like you, as if trying to justify why your feelings aren't as important as mine or other women who have been on a longer and harder road. Regardless of whether you've been trying for 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, your emotions, your feelings, your experience is valid. Denying this does not help. It just locks those emotions in the body and can often make it worse in the long run. So bow your head to everything that you're going through. Let yourself experience the full range of emotions. No one expects you to be happy all the time. You shouldn't be happy all the time. Embrace the disappointment, embrace the sadness. Allow yourself to breathe into it and let it go. And then when you're ready, you'll wake up the next day, you'll put one foot in front of the other, and you'll start anew. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Just quickly before I go, if you enjoyed this class and you would like to practice with me throughout the other stages of your cycle, I'll leave the links below for a couple of series that I've created, or you can join my online yoga circle, which is my membership where I share all my premium classes. Thank you again for being here. Please reach out if you need support. I'll see you next time. Namaste.